you want to give more affirmative action for the Malay community, you must open it up to the B20 Indians, the B20 Chinese who also need it. You want to continue, let's continue, but don't kick them out. Okay, NEP, I agree with you, has succeeded to an extent. It's created a big Malay middle class. Teachers, nurses, even doctors. But even doctors now, it's only about 47% of all doctors now are Malay, not 60%. Doesn't fully correct it, but it's done a big job in that. But if you look at the figures, George, if you look at the figures, median savings in EPF, Malays compared to Chinese compared to Indians, the Malay median is only 1/3 the Chinese median. The Indian median is half the Chinese before the start of COVID. And look at EPF, it's not a small sample. It's got 9 million workers in the formal sector. And the Malay median is so low. To me, that indicates NEP hasn't solved all the problems. There's still, that means the Malays are likely occupying the lower sectors in the formal sector. It's not a problem that, UMNO must take up or PAS must take up. It's a problem that any Malaysians will say, why is it that the Malays are earning less than the Indians and the Chinese? What can we do about that? Is it discrimination or is it a lack of education? How can we? It shouldn't be that way. There shouldn't be identification of ethnicity with income. Or you look at SME sectors, the Malay involvement in business is either GLCs or the, goreng pisang and the burger stalls. The in-between sector is largely Chinese, a bit of Indian. To me, that should be a problem that affects all of us. You don't have to wait for the Putra economic convent to start jumping up and down. We should say this is how we're going to solve it. So that will be my answer to that. I think NEP has done a lot, but there's still economic disparity, and you got to understand that. And the counter argument you also want to add to that is any affirmative action you give, it says you want to give more affirmative action for the Malay community, you must open it up to the B20 Indians, the B20 Chinese who also need it. You want to continue, let's continue, but don't give them out. But you can only argue that if you're honest and you accept there is still some catching up to do for the Malay community.